Again, good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Will. How are ya?
Well, how are you doing today?
Good. It's actually night for me. But
Right,
I'm
right. It's about
yeah.
8:30. What is it, about 8:30 p.m.?
It's 10:30 for
Oh,
me.
10. Oh, oh,
13 hours
so it's
ahead now.
it's an hour ahead
Yes,
than
13
12.
hours
Got you.
ahead.
Got you. Got you. Wow. So you get ready for bed.
Soon, soon. I'm on holiday, so that's why I was able to even film today.
Okay, that's good. Taking yourself a little breather, a little break.
Yeah, it's Chinese New Year, so this is their
Right.
Christmas. So
Right,
today is
right.
actual like Chinese New Year day.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Um, th- this is the first time I've had a conversation with someone in China.
I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
China's China.
yeah,
I
I've been
always
all
tell
around the
people
world, but not to China.
China's nice. It's a good place to visit.
It is a good place to visit, you say.
Yeah. And
How
it
about
is. It's a good place to visit. I've been here for what, 6 years now, and I've lived in three different cities. I think
this?
visiting is good. Living, if you don't really understand the language, it's going to be harder.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How is the language for you? Easy?
I went to university here, so I had to learn the first year. And then all my university classes was in Mandarin. So it was
Yeah,
kind of like I had to learn. Hmm?
where I live, they have a lot of like Chinese immersion language programs, and they start in like elementary school.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
nice. I'd recommend trying if you have time. It's
if
good
I
to be
have,
exposed to a different
look,
culture.
I'm sure I have time. I'm all about maximizing my time. Serious. I leave no stone unturned. So even if it means a minute here, a minute there, I utilize it because time is truly short.
Time is short. A day is
Got you.
very short as well. Time is
Right.
very short. Yeah.
Right. So again, I'm Will. We have never ever had a formal conversation.
No.
Never. I mean, and that's primarily how like most guests that I record with are. Like I've never spoke to them like truly off air. And
Like,
because I truly enjoy the organic approach in the conversation. Like I'm meeting a friend, a sister, family member that I've never ever been in the same place with. And I mean, we're starting anew, starting fresh. You know?
literally, literally we are.
Yep, we'll bring up some childhood memories, things that we haven't ever conversed about, but we'll share similarities, differences, all of those things. But in the end, it's a place of love.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's what I like about the community too. Because I didn't even know how I got inside the group, but I know I got inside the group.
Oh,
And I'm like, there's a
I'm
community
pretty
of
sure
us.
I invited you into the group like I did
Most, most likely.
most. Yeah,
Most
like
likely.
everyone that's in the group, like I get that message often, like, how did I get in here? What is this group? And I'll just share like a one pager on what the group is. And I'm like, I found you. Like, that's what I do. I build communities.
Yes, you definitely do. And you built a strong one too.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So, let me give you an introduction of the podcast, and then I'll ask you if you can give us an introduction of who you are. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome to the Chronically Bold podcast, where we have real conversations with community that need to be heard. On today's episode, I have the opportunity of traveling across seas to China to meet with my friend, my sister, my fellow person living with type 1 diabetes, Tony. Tony and I, even though we're family, we have never sat down and had a formal conversation. So today we get to have this conversation. I get to learn about Tony. She gets to learn about me. And we just get to share in this place of love and peace and just embrace each other. So, Tony, thank you again for joining me on this journey. Could you please give our audience a summary of who you are?
Well, thank you so much for having me. And we finally get to meet all cross seas, even with the time difference. But I am Tony, type 1 Tony to be exact, 242. I'm originally from the Bahamas, but I've been living in China for 6 years now, originally in university, but now working. I've had diabetes since 2013. I've been a type 1 diabetic. Um, I think it's interesting because you are from America and I'm from the Bahamas. And even though we're both living with diabetes, from what I've seen, how Americans live with it and how we had more, I want to say, benefits as Bahamians, it's very interesting to me. Because when I think about it, especially as a child getting diagnosed with diabetes, our government gave us free insulin up until 18. And then if you're still in college, you get free insulin until 25. So when I say like how it is in America, well, I think nowadays the laws change. But early on, when I first got diagnosed, like seeing how much people had to pay for one vial of insulin, whereas we got it free, including insulin, needle heads, test strips, anything you need for diabetes is given free from the government. So I think it's going to be an interesting conversation, especially even though our countries are so close. We both had different experiences with type 1 diabetes. But like you said, it's a pleasure to be here and I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I was just when you just said you were from the Bahamas, and then you said things are a lot different. I'm like, okay, Bahamas. I mean, I've been to the Bahamas. I mean, it's literally down the road. Like seriously,
It's
like
literally down the road. It's like
yeah,
what 30-minute plane ride from Florida.
right, like right off the coast.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, so you receive all of your diabetes supplies that are needed for free.
For free.
You said
Mhm.
up until 18, but then you said till 25.
Once you're in college. So once you could prove that you're in college
Hmm.
and you're up in college until the age of 25, then you could get free insulin as well and free diabetic stuff.
I got you. And then
Yeah.
once you turn 26, you're on your own.
Once you turn 26, you're on your own. That's how I end up in China because
Hmm.
insulin is cheaper here.
Serious? That's how you ended up in China?
Well, my granddad is half Chinese. So I have always wanted to visit China. But then once I got diagnosed with diabetes, I was like, okay, I'm in high school. I'm going to have to make a decision on where I want to go for university. And now I'm also living with this new disease, which costs money. What to do? So I was thinking about
Right.
universities in America, but then I'm like, seeing endocrinologists, the amount you have to pay for insulin at that time when I was diagnosed and those kinds of stuff, I was like, I need a place with cheaper, more affordable insulin, but also a familiarity that I like. So China just came about, and I was like, okay, why not? And insulin is very cheap here. So even though I'm 20, I just turned 26, so I'm on my own. But I think I pay less than every month. Well, I have full insurance, but when I was paying out of pocket, I paid less than 150 USD to see the endocrinologist to get the insulin and all the other supplies
Altogether?
altogether.
Is that per month or like quarterly, like every 3 months?
Per month.
Okay.
About 150 for everything.
That's pretty good, pretty decent.
It is pretty decent. Yeah.
Do you think that you get like the best care though? Like, are you up to date on like modern insulin and supplies and tech, all those things?
I would say yes, because Beijing actually has a whole different extra technology when it comes to diabetes. Because I've seen studies showing that recently there was a stem cell treatment here that cured a type 1 diabetic. But I have full insurance, 100% covered. So I go to the best hospitals here. But when I was a student and paying out of pocket, I still went to the best hospital in my district. And like I said, it was like 150 for doctor visit and then insulin and stuff. The only thing is here that you have to see the doctor every month to get the prescription of insulin. So it's not like back home where you can get 3 or 4 months supplies at once. You'll have to see the doctor, do the sit down, and the endocrinologist, to be exact, do the sit down consultation, all that kind of stuff in order to get the insulin
Every month?
every month. And I think because
Wow.
people may sell it, so to prevent that, that's why hospitals have it like that.
I understand what I'm in general, I understand the every month because a chronic health condition such as type 1 diabetes and if you're insulin dependent, like it's something that should be micromanaged and not just
Exactly.
left like astray. Like, oh, let me check on you in 3 months. We know within 3 months you done had severe highs, severe lows. You know, forgot something. Like
Yep.
so many things have changed. You may have dropped a vial of insulin. Like you may have
Yeah.
like had some insulin resistance. Many
Yep.
things can occur within a 3 month period of someone living with diabetes, hormonal changes. And
Exactly.
yeah, I like that commitment that the Chinese government does have towards people living with diabetes. Um, at the same time, I ask because I know, have you been to the US?
I have aunts and cousins. My niece is American. So I've been to, I want to say 5, 6 states. Well, I mean, every Bahamian basically goes to Florida, so we don't really count it
Right.
because it's right there.
Right.
Um, yeah, so I don't normally stay for long periods of time. I think
Mhm.
the longest I've stayed is 3 weeks.
Okay. I
Three
asked
weeks.
that because I know since at least since the 1950s, 1960s, like the Cold War era and everything, that the US and China have been, I mean, they've been great rivals in everything.
I think the term that the Chinese use is a brother-sister relationship. You know, sometimes siblings fight.
Yeah, like a big brother.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sometimes.
So
Um,
that's the word that they use over here. They
okay.
tend to use that, the
Okay.
brother-sister relationship.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah, China and US. I would say though, when I first came for school, when Obama was president, they
Mhm.
had a way better relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The relationship has changed a lot over the last decade. And especially when you consider things such as like global health organizations such as the WHO. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you see social media, you see the
I
TV, like
do.
to a lot of people, like are not our, I can't say our. My heart hurts a lot. It
Yeah.
does. It truly does. Not to get into politics or anything, just in human nature. Like
Exactly.
I move in the sense of love always. Love
Mhm.
thy neighbor,
Oh,
build
yeah.
communities because
And at peace with
people
one
are,
another.
yeah, people are going to be in need. We have a
Ex-
chronic health condition.
Exactly.
We can't always manage this on our own.
Definitely not. This
And
is
we have to look at more worldly views of things because diabetes is not just happening here in America. Chronic health conditions of any sort aren't just happening here, they're happening everywhere.
exactly
And it makes me think, sheesh, 6 years you've been in China.
6 years. Yeah.
6 years.
6 years.
2019.
I left on the last flight out. I was actually one of the few who left on the last flight out, not knowing it was the last flight, of course. But I was
Yeah,
back home. I was back
right.
home.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, over here, I mean, that would be winter 2019.
Yes. Because I left that
Hmm.
December, end up leaving.
When they were talking about the China flu.
Now, mind you, I did not get that news in China. It just so happened that, Chinese New Year holiday tends to fall around that break. And I had a 2 weeks break prior to going into the Chinese New Year. So I was like, let me go home early. Went home early. And then that's when I went home because there was no regulations up at the time.
Mhm.
But once I went home, then that's when I heard the talk about the China flu and COVID came. And
This is the,
oh,
it changed the world.
it changed the world, literally.
And from the outside looking in, as someone who has done work in public health and research, from the outside looking in, I saw and this is going to give me a lot of backlash, but I don't care. I'm unapologetically me, as we all should be.
That's as you
Um,
should be.
um, I saw China sharing with the world, like these are the conditions that are occurring and how concerned they were. Like from the onset, I remember them saying like this virus is being spread from house to house, like through the ducts and everything. Like because in China, like a lot of people live in large,
Apartment building.
multi-storied apartment buildings, like through the ventilation and things of that nature. And it was like, wow. And I remember telling my family, like, it's going to reach us soon.
Eventually,
Like,
yeah.
there is no way that it's like, so, like the rapid growth of it and how it's affecting everyone, it's not going to touch here in the US. But there was someone here in the US that was saying, oh, it's the China virus and it's not going to affect us. We're going into the spring weather, the warm weather is going to make sure that this virus doesn't spread and whatnot. And I was like, this disinformation and how it kept circulating. And I know in China government, like, I know that there's more of a presence where, certain propaganda isn't shared as much. Um, and some people consider that more like a dictatorship, like the ruling, like the government's not able to share, but it's just misinformation that is regulated.
It in a certain sense, yes. Because you are able to access outside. That's how I'm here talking to you today. So I would say, and then keep in mind, a lot of this generation of Chinese who are our ages, they studied in the US, they studied in Singapore, they've studied in New Zealand, Australia, where they've been in a place where information is more freely distributed.
Mm-hmm.
So they still have access to the touch points where they've been to in the world. So it's not necessarily as it was many years back.
So it's not as closely regulated as previously.
No.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I do plan on taking trips out to China someday. Not today, but hopefully someday soon. And hopefully my neighbor over there in China will allow me to come and stay. My new sister.
Of course, I got you.
Okay. I know that as a person living there during that time, the fears had to be direct, especially living with chronic health condition.
I I think back home it was more of that way because I was similar as an outside looking in because I had left right before the
Right.
whole virus came about, before it really got spread. Because I think that January 2020 was when the information started coming out. But prior to that, in 2019, when I left, everything was normal. I think it was like a flu going around, but not necessarily something that you don't see in the winter. Because every winter you have some kind of, you're going from a hot building into the cold weather, and a lot don't wear thermals. So you're going from one extreme temperature to another extreme temperature. And then they love to drink hot water. So you have a lot of hot water with that. So it's I think people were just naturally thinking it was just the normal cold. So when I went home, I was outside looking in as well. And then hearing friends who were still in China, their experience there, I was like, it was tragic.
I did not know that y'all drink hot water in China. I know you drink a lot of tea.
Not y'all. I don't drink. I like my ice cold. I'm from the Bahamas. I like water ice
Okay, like
cold.
I'm from a hot hemisphere in the Bahamas, so I like cold water.
Exactly. I love ice in my water. And all my Chinese friends always like, that's so unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a Chinese thing because it believes in, it's the feng shui of the body. And then also like it's supposed to help with the immune system, boost digestion, all the fun stuff. I don't like tea either. So I can't even tell you how.
Got you. But they also say that the cold helps eliminate viruses and bacteria also.
Exactly. But
So it's
I think
like
China's the only Asian country I know for sure, because I've been to many other Asian countries. They're the only one I know for sure that drinks hot water, aside
because
from just tea, just hot water by itself.
so I'm guessing you won't see like a lot of like bottled water in China,
They have
right?
it, but it'll be room temperature bottled water.
Okay.
Rarely you find like the ice ones. Maybe on a really hot day in the summer, you might be lucky and find like two or three iced ones. But
So if you
generally,
so if you go to a friend's and you're like or they're like, would you like some water? You're like, mm-mm.
my friend's house who I go by, they know me well enough to have ice to go with it. They still don't approve of it, but they're like, okay, we got a little bit of ice here for you because we know you were coming.
Now, do they eat like colder desserts, like ice cream?
Traditional Chinese desserts tend to be either like lukewarm or hot because they have
Gotcha.
like the red bean desserts. They have normal cakes, moon cakes. I can't think of a tradition. Oh, egg tarts would tend to be hot. So those kind of desserts. But they do eat ice cream. There is ice cream. There's Haagen-Dazs here, a lovely Haagen-Dazs store here. So they do eat ice cream, but I wouldn't say as much. The younger generation more than the older generation.
Okay. I'm gonna put all this stuff down so when I come and visit, I'll be prepared.
Yes, hot water everywhere.
Right.
even on the flights, if you're going on a Chinese airline, it's going to be hot water.
Not
Mm.
for me. And I don't even drink tea either. Like I'm like hot water. I don't drink tea or coffee, like
No,
hot
I love
water.
coffee, but tea, I'm not a tea drinker.
Understood. All
I just
right.
something about tea. I don't know. It doesn't taste bad. It's just not for me, you know?
Right. So today you are 26 years young, right?
Yes, as of the 25th. I've turned 26 years
Oh,
young.
of the 25th of January.
Yes.
Okay. You were okay. Let me put these numbers together. So you don't know my age. You were saying our age group. I'm not in your age group at all.
It's probably not too far off.
Oh, I'm way far off. So let's see. You're in Chinese, so your math should be like this, right? Yeah, yeah. Just say yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're
Of
gonna treat
course,
we're
of
gonna treat
course,
this like it's a game show.
of course, of course, of
So
course.
so I turned 16 a week before you were born.
What?
When's my birthday?
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. 1999, 89, 1982.
16 a week before. So if you're 26,
Yeah, because I was born in 99.
mm-hmm,
So
16
that
years
means
before 99,
90,
83, 83.
83. Okay, 82, 83. Yeah. I'm my older
You got
brother.
it.
Y'all are in set. So I consider my older brother and I, even though in a different generation, I understand your
Because
generation.
you're the girl, more
Yes, I
mature.
understand your generation. And I tend to hang around older people. Like my cousin was born 1980 and she's my best friend.
That's my older sister was born 1980.
Yeah, so I tend to be around older people. My work best friend is 64.
Oh, snap. Y'all play poker together.
I forget sometimes.
Look, conversations are conversations. We don't talk about
Exactly.
ageism, racism. They all don't exist isms. But yeah,
Exactly.
I turned 16. It's
Um,
something that I've been doing for years. Like when someone tell me their age or whatever, I'm like, okay, I turned whatever age. So yeah, I turned 16 a week before you were born. So my birthday is January 18th.
what a time. Oh, wow. January
Yeah.
the Aquarius. Capricorn, Aquarius.
Yep,
Capricorn.
Capricorn.
You're on that, you're like on the flip month. That's what they call them.
I don't follow astrology and all that stuff at
When
all.
I call it because the Chinese New Year. So like it's a big thing to know which year you were born.
Right. What is this year?
The year of the snake.
Of the snake, right? Is
Yeah.
that a good thing or a bad thing?
In Chinese philosophy, it's a good thing. In Bahamian philosophy, it's a bad
Bad
thing.
thing, right?
In Chinese
Because
philosophy,
here it
it's
is.
supposed to mean like new beginnings because you know how the snake sheds its skin. So
Hmm.
it's supposed to mean new beginnings and wisdom. And because a snake is a baby dragon. So it's also like the second year of the dragon kind of thing. Don't quote me on that. But it's like somewhere around there.
Right, because here when we say someone's a snake, that means like uh they're against you. Like you're a
Yes,
snake, like you're a hater, you're a fake, you're a fraud. Like
us too. Us too.
look,
If
right.
someone called you a snake, or even like in our culture, like you see a snake on your ground, like crawling, you'd be like, okay, you're having bad luck today. So,
Right.
but in
To
Chinese
be
culture, it's supposed to mean something very different.
that's good. I
Mhm.
mean, we know with our culture compared to Chinese culture, there's a lot of different things.
There's a lot
Like
of
even
different.
like with the pandemic, you said like your family was more concerned than you were.
They very much were. And I
And
think
it's
even
great.
coming back to China, because I came in right before the lockdown was lifted. So I had to do the quarantine for 8 days. And I think they were more concerned than me. But I actually got COVID in the Bahamas 3 times. 3 times. And I was like, woo. I left the country that had COVID to catch it back home 3 times. So yeah,
Right.
that was an experience. That was
Yeah. Yeah. Just thinking back on that time, like it wasn't that long ago, but
it was
literally, so many things have changed and altered everything about us since the onset of that pandemic. Like, I
yeah.
don't even think I would be using Zoom if it wasn't for the pandemic.
I would have never been on social media. So
Right, right. But you were able to
uh,
find your people.
exactly.
Mhm.
That's how I found my people.
So you were born 1999. So you were diagnosed with type 1 2013 at the age of 13, 14.
13, 14. Yeah.
13, 14.
At the peak of my teenage years.
Right, right. All of the different hormonal challenges, relationship building, girls being girls.
And
Yeah.
the ironic part is how I got diagnosed. So, I mean, it's funny now looking back at it, but I was in food nutrition class and I got burned and electrocuted because I like food something. So I at the time I was not eating until like lunchtime. So this was before lunch had happened. I went to the nurse office and she just did a whole panel. She tested like my blood sugar, my blood pressure. I was like, okay. So when she tested my blood sugar, she was like, what did you eat? I'm like, I didn't have anything to eat yet. Lunch starts at 12. I'm gonna go buy me some like rice and curry. It was like a Wednesday. That's the most Bahamian meal on a Wednesday is curry and rice. But she was like, I think I need to call your mom. And I'm like, for what? Like, and she really didn't want to concern me. So she just gave me like a huge bottle of water and she was like, okay, like walk around the school for a bit and then come right back and talk to your mom. My mom came, they rushed me to the doctor. My blood sugar was like 600 at the time. And I had no idea. I was just, mind you, I had the symptoms. Like I was drinking a lot of water, using the bathroom a lot. My vision was blurred, a lot of headaches, sleeping in class. But it didn't really dawn on me like, oh, something is off. I thought it was just teenage years. I'm just a teenager. Your body's changing and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so I got diagnosed. They put me on the first insulin I took was in the IV. And my whole life changed. And my mom, oh, God bless her heart, she was just like, because she's very religious. So she was like, the things that just come, they are never challenges, but blessings. And we shall understand what this one is. She was so, like, she was worried, but I think she was trying to be so chill because I
Hmm.
was worried. And since then, I want to say I've met so much people who I've never would have met if I didn't have diabetes.
And your mom, during that initial diagnosis, she had to try to like compose herself, compose you, because I'm pretty sure she had moments where she was behind a door had her Bible out and was like on her knees praying and asking why, tears
Mhm.
falling from her eyes, like trying to heal her baby, all of those things. She I know the Caribbean culture and religion. I'm
And I was just
sure
mention about that.
I'm sure they came together. Like,
That's the one thing I love my mom about, because most of the time when you tell someone, it's rare to meet a type 1 diabetic in the Bahamas. We are, I think, fifth in the world with the fattest people. And on top of that, the people who have chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and hypertension. So it's very rare to meet type 1 diabetics. So when you tell someone you're diabetic, and I'm a little chubby, I'm like, I have a fat face. My face is fat no matter how small I get. But they'll be like, the first thing they say is, oh, I'm going to pray that it goes away. And I think it's like, it's a cultural thing, but it always gets to me because I'm like, if someone, my pancreas literally doesn't work. So if they cut off my foot and someone was born without a foot, can I pray that it grows back? And then they look and they're like, no. So I'm like, I understand what you're trying to say, but the reality, you have to live in the reality. And my mom did not do that. So that's the one thing I could appreciate, because she said, she understands the science behind it. She understands what happened, but the Lord gave it to you for a reason. We're going to figure out why. We're going to go through this. But when I first got diagnosed, and I was very big in my church group at the time too, that was this one thing that all the adults were saying. And I'm just like, that's not something that someone really wants to hear. Like, you're going to pray my diabetes away. Like, if it was that easy, I'd pray it away too. Like, we wouldn't even be sitting here talking about insulin and needles and stuff like that. But Caribbean culture is very big on that kind of stuff. And even people who have like type 2 diabetes who I've met in the times, they've been like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like pray more and like, but I'm like, are you exercising? Are you drinking more water? Are we not eating as much rice? Are we counting carbs? Like, I understand the logic behind it, but reality is reality.
True. I often wonder, when I'm having conversations with people, especially people of color, when they were like you mentioned, like type 1 isn't prevalent in the Bahamas. It's predominantly type 2. I mean, that's how it is around the world. But at the same time, I wonder, like, if because of socially how people see people, like, okay, they're bigger, type 2. Is it that doctors, upon diagnosis, automatically give people that T2 diagnosis, even though many people during diagnosis have to use insulin and forever use insulin? So it makes me always think, like, does this person truly have this diagnosis? So I recommend for everyone, specifically people of color, because 9 out of 10 times they're going to say, oh, that's type 2, or it's just diabetes, not going to give it a T1 diagnosis. I highly recommend for us to ask questions, to tell them to show you. And if you don't know, find a community where someone can tell you, like, make sure you get these autoantibodies tested, get your C-peptide tested, because it is a big difference.
It is. It definitely is. And I think when I first got diagnosed, well, the doctor was my uncle. So he did the full thing, because I guess for him, he was hoping it was just type 2 diabetes, so we could just get it better. So he did the full testing, and I do it every year now since I've been in China. I do the full testing to see how bad is the antibodies getting, those kind of stuff. I can't remember the whole exact panels of tests, but I did do the diagnosis test when I first got diagnosed. And then I did it again when I went to the endocrinologist in the Bahamas.
Right. That's good. That's another thing, like you just mentioned, that in China, you get that yearly testing.
Yes.
I was in a conversation with someone just yesterday because they were showing signs and symptoms of having another autoimmune condition. And I'm like, you have type 1 diabetes. I'm like, do you know what your GAD65 antibody levels are? They're like, I've never gotten that tested. But the same person has like fibromyalgia, chronic pain, and brain fog and things. And I'm like, 80, I think it's like 88% of people with type 1 diabetes have show increased GAD65 autoantibodies. And those GAD65 autoantibodies, another autoimmune condition that has even higher, like 100 times elevation of type 1 is stiff person syndrome. And I've been diagnosed with that. And I asked them, I said, have you gotten this test? And they were like, oh, I don't know how it is where you're at. This is what they said. I don't know how it is where you're at, but doctors don't just you can't just tell a doctor you want to get tested for whatever. And I said, but you're a type 1 diabetic. I said, you can request these labs. Just ask for those full blood panels. And they were like, well, I don't know about that one. I'm like, I tried.
But healthcare is so like as an outsider looking in, healthcare is so expensive in the States.
It is.
I think I've only been to a hospital in America once, and that was because I was in transit home, like from China to home. And then I can't remember what happened. I think my blood sugar was too high. Because normally with the time difference, it sucks because I'm still on injections, but I am on the CGM. So when you're in the time difference, it's hard to calculate the long-lasting insulin time. So I think at that time I ended up having, if my blood sugar was really high, I got sick, went to the hospital. Then I think like just for being there overnight, they charged me like 30 or 40,000 USD. And I was like, I'm in transit. I want to go home. Like, let me be only 45 minutes away from home. It's so expensive. It's so expensive. So, and my heart goes out every time. Even in college, I wrote papers mainly about like insulin prices in America and just living with chronic illness, because it's just, I can't imagine. Like, even, for example, when I got diagnosed in the Bahamas, the place is closed down now, unfortunately. But there was a Swedish type 1 diabetic who had a vacation home in the Bahamas. He paid for 50% of the clinic, and the government provided the doctors and the nurses. So I always had a free doctor and a free nurse. And every Saturday they had activities and they had summer camps for you to go to learn about diabetes. And you were surrounded by type 1 diabetics, even though it was only like 10 of us. But it was a place for type 1 and type 2 diabetics that was free. Free everything. And on site there, they also had free, not insulin, but free needle heads, free lancets, free everything.
Right. They know that this is a chronic health condition and they got to do whatever you can to lessen the pain, the burden. I'm trying to think when you were talking, I was like, when's the last time I actually been to a hospital? It's been over 10 years. Like, it's been a long time. I mean, I haven't had any emergency situations of such. Like, I had a couple severe hypoglycemic episodes. Most of them I was able to tend to, or a family member was, but I have had a lot over the last 22 years of like EMTs, emergency medic teams, like having to show up at my doors. But I remember seeing them bills. I remember, and like, ain't no way you ever gonna get this money.
Yeah, that's yeah. And that's why that was a big factor in me choosing where I want to go to for university as well. Was I gotta go where it's cheaper. I gotta go. And that's all of Asia. Because even I travel Korea often too, South Korea as well. There, same thing. It's cheaper to see endocrinologists, cheaper to get insulin. Like I said, for the Bahamas, I'm used to free or really cheap.
Like, what CGM do you actually use in China?
I still use Libre. I have not upgraded to the fancy one yet, even though I can get it.
What's
But
the
they do
fancy one?
They have Libre 2, 3, and 4 over here now. I think they just got 4.
Libre 4.
It's a bunch. Because remember, the factory is here. So they have like the newer ones. I'm sticking to the normal Libre because I don't need the fancy one. I'm good.
Right,
They do have Dexcom. And then they have different Chinese ones that I don't use, but my colleague who's into health and fitness, sometimes when he's regulating his blood sugar just to see. But I told him, I said, for me, it's a life or death situation. For you, you're doing it because you just want to check it. So I rather stick with a brand that I'm familiar with back home as well as here. But they have, I want to say from the website that I used to buy mine, they have like 10 or 11 Chinese brand CGMs that I've not tried. So I normally stick between Dexcom and Libre, but Libre has been my go-to ever since.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because I know how the Chinese are with technology, bioengineering, biomedicine, all of those things. Like they're above and beyond like most
Definitely.
nations. They're, if not, they're the top nation when it comes to those things. And I was just wondering, I was like, I'm pretty sure there's someone at home in their basement, in their loft or whatever, and they're creating whatever technology loop system. And I was like, I wonder if there's any CGMs that are more advanced than, say, like Dexcom. I'm sure there has to be.
There has to be. I have not tried it yet. But like I said, I know for sure they have like the newest models first come in China and then it goes to the States.
Have you been able to be involved in any like clinical trials in China?
I have not.
Would you?
I'm kind of wary. I'm just a tad bit wary because I feel like genetically, even though I am like 2% Chinese,
mm-hmm.
they tend to be 95% Han people. So, for example, the same stem cell treatment they had with the Chinese lady with type 1 diabetes, they could guarantee it works for Chinese. I'm just not 100% comfortable yet being a petri dish.
Right. It's the same here in the US because we've had the same clinical trials with the stem cells with and without the immunosuppressants therapies that have shown that they've been working or whatnot. But still, there's not enough people of color that are involved in any of these clinical trials. And we know that even when you test like person of color's blood count, blood type, like those things they differ.
Yeah.
Like,
but I would say, though, the one thing that it's not necessarily a clinical trial, but my endocrinologist and she's been recommending it to other clients we've tried a vitamin berberine. Because berberine apparently is a traditional Chinese vitamin, like herbal thing as well.
Right. I heard that's supposed to help with like insulin resistance.
And it does. Because I've had a huge problem with insulin resistance, depending on the time of the month. So like the first 2 weeks, I'm good. Then the third week is like, oh, and then the fourth week is like, okay, you just have diabetes. And then the next day is like, oh, I don't have diabetes no more. My blood sugar is perfect. So we've been using berberine rather than going on to metformin or any of the other pills, and it's been working perfect. I would say, though, I do have a lot of stomach discomfort with it in the first couple times, but that's also with the metformin and those kind of insulin resistance medicines too. But berberine has been working good so far. It's a trial that we're on to see how the year goes with it. But that's the one we've been testing.
How about GLP-1s? Are they like growing in usage in China as they are here in the US?
Well, I think for the international hospitals, yes. Chinese hospitals, I don't think so because most of them are relatively slim.
Mm-hmm.
But for the international hospitals, yes. I've known a lot of people who got the GLP-1s, especially Ozempic. It's cheaper over here, of course.
I will never understand how things are cheaper in China. Like when we consider the population, the growth, the economy, it should be like, I would think it would be very similar to here in the US.
Not necessarily. Certain things, like if you get international products, yes. But most of the products are made here.
Gotcha.
So it's like, if it's not made here, it's either made like in South Korea or Hong Kong, different areas that are close.
Mm-hmm.
So like skincare products, I just get it offline for Korea, from Korea itself, and you're good.
Okay,
So I
let
think
me
that's why it
check.
tends to be cheaper. But when I was
Let
a
me.
student here to now, oh, the prices is gone. I call it ridiculously high, but compared to the US, it's still very cheap. But when I was a student, it was cheaper.
I gotta write this down. Tony is the connect. Because like there's a lot of things that people here use, like such as like Shein, like they buy their clothing. Um, what else is big here? AliExpress type things.
Alibaba.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, they're closer to you, so you don't have to. It's not as expensive.
Actually, we can't get Shein here. Shein,
No.
Alibaba. Yeah, because it's different quality that you have export quality and import quality and in country quality is two different things. So like I can't order from Shein. They don't have TikTok shop because they use Douyin. It's so it you would think it's the same, but it's not.
Hmm.
So instead like Amazon, you have something called, or instead of Amazon and Shein, you use either, oh, I forgot what the app called. I know it's the pink app that they use, but similar to Shein. And then there's something called Taobao that you could use in China, but you can't use outside like that. So it's
So I can't even access that app probably.
no,
So I can't
unless
click something and send it to you and be like, "Can you order? I'll give you the money and you order it."
I wish, I really wish, because even it's so hard to find clothes sometimes because Shein itself is only catering to the Western market.
Wow. And where is she in headquartered? Like,
That's a good question.
I
Maybe
don't know.
probably down south. I want to say probably Hangzhou, Guangzhou, one of the down south areas.
Yeah, you wouldn't find anywhere here in the US that caters to a certain region in China, but you
So
do find that there. Like even like when you consider it like hair, lashes, which are big now, like all of that stuff, like Chinese, like Asia in general, um, has a specific market that's catered, like it caters to people like Black people, really.
yes.
Hmm.
And I think for them, I know specifically in China, you have to have, in order to ship out, you have to have that quality assurance, some kind of like certificate document from the government.
Mhm.
So most of them who tend to ship out, they get more money shipping out rather than shipping in.
Wait till I
So
tell
you
these
have,
kids that people in China don't use Shein. They don't use
no, use
what's the other
Taobao,
one? What's the other one?
Alibaba. There's a Chinese Alibaba and then there's Western Alibaba.
They
So
don't
there's two
use
different kinds of
Fashion
Alibaba.
Nova.
No. Korea does though. So when I go South Korea, I can like order it there and then take it back with me. But no, no Fashion Nova, no Shein, no TikTok. We got Xiaohongshu though. I saw a lot of TikTok refugees on Xiaohongshu.
Oh yeah, all
We
these little
got
kids around here, all my middle
we
schoolers
on
and high schoolers, they
Red
all did
Note.
that.
Yeah, Red Note.
They all did it for about 24 hours. Do you use that app?
I used I used it before on a friend's phone because I never saw the point in downloading it.
Mhm.
Because like for us, we have something called, instead of, I don't know, a lot of Americans don't use WhatsApp. Do you use
Right,
WhatsApp?
not at all.
Why though?
Why should I though?
Because I message, like my niece is American, so I have to I message her. And I'm like, but WhatsApp have so much more features. Like you could watch statuses, you could talk directly to people, star messages, go back, screenshot, hide messages. It's like, you could play games. Can you? I'm not sure. I think you
Yeah,
can.
like on
WhatsApp.
Messenger.
See, but WhatsApp is like ideal. So we have something similar to like a WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube all together, and Apple Music all together called WeChat. So WeChat is where you could watch those same videos on without having to do an extra app. And they have a mini program in the WeChat app. So you can literally like use the app in WeChat without downloading it. So that's why I never downloaded it, because I had WeChat.
So, I have to ask you this question. You're in China. Do you use a VPN?
I am using one right now.
Okay, because I'm
I am
like,
using one.
how are you using Instagram and
But
yeah.
when I came to school at first, because I came to school in 2017, WhatsApp, and I think like a few apps you didn't need a VPN for. But I think like after COVID, a lot has changed.
Okay, because I know I was having a conversation with my kids recently about was I saying that there's no I was like there's no I was like because they were complaining about like TikTok and stuff. I said, well, there's no Instagram in China. And they're like, huh? I'm like, yeah, there's no Instagram in China.
But they
Yeah.
have their own versions of things,
Right.
which technically, for example, last night was the Chinese New Year Eve. And I just so happened to go on a live stream that was on WeChat. Would it be like similar to a Facebook, Instagram live stream? And it was like 171 million views. That's not even half of them watching the live stream. So I'm like, if you make it in China, all you need is like 2 million people to follow you and you're good.
Mhm. Right.
You're good.
That's good. And well, I mean, I think about when I was younger, I don't think I tried to connect with anyone around the world when I was a teen. Oh, but as an adult, it's like we try to connect with everyone who's similar
Exactly.
to us. We can find our true people, not just the people we grew up with, not the people in our community, like people that truly like are like us, like
Exactly.
people of color, type 1 diabetes,
Mhm.
educated, like all of those things. Like I'm able to find you.
Exactly.
Right. So I did want to retract a bit to 2013 and that diagnosis. Being that age you were, 13, 14 years young, I think because my daughter just turned 14 in November. And I know that if she was to get a diagnosis of like type 1 diabetes, like I don't I don't know how she would be able to handle that. How like first I would think like she would probably be in mourning and also thinking like why? Keep asking why me? Why? Like I'm just a girl trying to be a girl.
Exactly. But I think when I was 13, 14, I think type 1 diabetes, like it matured me in a way. Because it was a time, like, you have that honeymoon stage when you're just getting used to it and then you're getting used to injections. I was petrified of needles. So I think that was my greatest fear. So I used to sit down and cry like the first month of me injecting myself. But the community I had was very strong. Like at home, my parents were very strong, my brothers, and my niece was very strong with me. They sat down with me, they helped me take my injections. They went to all the meetings, they did the best they could to change up the diet and count carbs and stuff. Because Bahamian diet is very, very, very carb heavy. Everything is carbs, and we think it's so normal. Like we'll have a big peas and rice that's like almost 100 grams of carbs right there with
Mm.
plantain, and then you add the steamed chicken and the curry and all kind of other stuff.
You trying to make me hungry.
I'm missing home, so please forgive me. I really miss home. But when I was home, my home family is strong and my outer family as well. Because I come from a big family on both sides. And we live close to each other relatively. So they would come by, always make sure I'm good. And at school, we had a nurse at the school. So every lunchtime, I would sit with her. We'd go through my blood sugars together. She'd watch me take my injection. Even if I'm sitting there crying, she's holding my hand, helping me take it. And then home, I had my support. And I think my friends too at the time were great. I had wonderful friends who were truly understanding. I had wonderful teachers who were truly understanding too. Like I had one teacher, Mr. Knight, shout out to Mr. Knight. He would always, always, always check on me and be like, how's your blood sugar doing? Do you need something? Have you eaten lunch? Are you good? But I think in the Caribbean too, when they think of diabetics, you just think that you always need to eat. So your blood sugar doesn't go low. So it's harder to understand a high blood sugar than low blood sugar. So you'll be there eating. They're like, do you need more to eat? Do you need more food? And I'm like, no, this is enough. I'm good. Da 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 da. So that's the one question I got a lot. But I think it helped me mature because I was doing things that other teenagers weren't doing. On a Saturday, I was dedicating my time to the diabetic association I was in and just going there, helping other type 1 diabetics, communicating with them, learning more about my disease. Then on Sundays, similar things, just preparing for the week, figuring out my meal plan for that week and stuff like that, which most teenagers weren't doing. They were just living their best life. And I missed a lot of school at the time too, because I had either really low blood sugars or really high blood sugars. So I think I missed in 1 year, I missed like 100 and something days of school. Still graduated on top. But yeah, it was hard to adjust. But my friends made it easier. My family made it easier. And then just the community around me and the bigger community. Because I've had the same doctor from I was 14 now, and he literally went through life with me. So the same general practitioner, and he's going strong. Shout out to Dr. G.
Shout out to Dr. G.
Dr. G. Well, it's Dr. Gomez, but I call him Dr. G because he's a real G.
Okay,
they
I
call
got
you
you.
G,
I got you from Dr. Knight to Dr. G. Like everyone, your family, they wrapped their arms around you.
They did.
And they said, baby girl, we got you. We got you. Even though they didn't understand the fluctuations of the blood sugar and how it was affecting you emotionally.
True.
Because you were 13, 14, I'm already thinking like, I know my daughter will cut her eyes at me. And I'm like, oh, I want to say something so bad. But I'm like, I got to hold my tongue because she's a growing, maturing young lady. And now I'm thinking like, okay, you are a growing, maturing young lady, plus with diabetes. Like with how our psychological the psychological changes that occur with us with diabetes truly affect us, people do not understand. They don't, I mean, they may see them, but they don't know it's diabetes. You're just like, oh, Tony, you being nasty right now. I'm just gonna give you a break. Not knowing.
Oh, my blood sugar's high. I need some water.
Yeah, Tony needs some water. She needs some cool air. She needs some insulin. Like
exactly. Or like when your blood sugar's low and you're just sweating. And they're like, it's not even hot. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm low-key dying. Let's shot this piece of sugar. And I think like for work, my job is like everywhere. So I'll have a low blood sugar, but I'm there standing like trying to hide. Because there's these little sugar shots you could take in China. Just trying to quickly shot my sugar and go back to the meeting and shot my sugar and go back to the meeting. So it's like, yeah.
Right. Because you got to stay, no matter what, even though we live with diabetes, we have to stay like active in the moment.
Exactly. And be normal and function normal.
Right. Because no one's going to gift us anything. They're not going to be like, oh, you need a little more time because you have diabetes. No, everybody else is working. Like,
you gotta
I have to work.
Right.
You
gotta get out there too.
Now, at that age, or even growing through those teenage years, young adult years, has diabetes affected you in relationships such as friendships, significant others, family, anything?
I think friendships, yes. Because I think when I was going through those changes, especially, I had a nasty personality. Like I was just either tired or angry or cranky. I'm sweating for no reason because my blood sugar's dropping. I needed juice. And I think I always remember the time when my best friend from primary school, we were friends when we were 4. And she and I had a really big argument. And she's not the type to argue. And I thought that was like the end of it. But then I just appreciate that my friends do understand. And when my blood sugar finally came normal, I'm like, okay, it was just me being mean because obviously I'm not in the best frame right now. We made up and we've been strong ever since. I think I've not lost friends to diabetes. I've gained a lot of friends because people that I've met in the Bahamas who has type 1 diabetes, I would have never met them unless we had the same disease. And I think in relationships wise, I hate to say it like this, but I think like the guys I end up dating, they like to help me. So they think it's kind of like cute And I'm like, it really
Yeah,
isn't.
oh, she need me.
Like, oh baby, you need to choose. And I'm like,
Mm,
yeah, but don't do it like that. So
mm.
I've never had an
They're
issue
like,
with
all I need is to give her a piece of candy to get her. Like, oh yeah, that's. I can't wait till she go low star, so she can be like, he saved my life.
exactly.
Oh man, you got
So
them all feeling like firemen.
yeah. So they like feel like they're coming to the rescue. Um
That's
my
funny.
most recent relationship, I must say, he took it well, and his family was very supportive too, which I never experienced before. So they were super, super, super supportive. They were always like, okay, we know you need more protein and vegetables and you need carbs. So we're going to help you with that. So, and in terms of family, I think my family has been really supportive, even though I do get, you know, a little nasty sometimes, get a little attitude-ish sometimes. But I think the kind of cutest thing is that my nieces, when I got diagnosed, I just had a recent niece born, and then my oldest niece, who is now 17, she was like 3 or 4. And so she was like, Auntie Tony, I'm gonna prick your finger for you. And she was just learning more. So to them, they grew up with it being normal to like, oh yeah, my auntie taking the insulin. So for example, when I went to one of her school events and we went to eat, I just took out my needle, injected it, and all her friends are like, what is your auntie doing? And she was like, it's diabetes. Do you not know? Like, do you not go to school? So I think for them, they grew up with it just normal. My nephew now, who's 4, he grew up watching me take my insulin, and he just knows, okay, this is Auntie Tony's insulin, don't touch. That's her needle jar where she puts all her needles when she uses them, don't touch. Auntie Tony, do you need me to get the insulin out the fridge for you to let you take it now or not? Can you eat it? When are we going to eat? Those kinds of stuff. And he's only 4. So I think they grew up with it normal. And my
Right.
nieces and nephews are my kids. So they're the only kids I have.
Mhm. That's good that it's been normalized because we
Yeah,
know socially living with a chronic health condition plays a heavy toll on us. Um, if you didn't have community, didn't have family, like many people go into hiding with diabetes because they don't have those things. They're not
exactly.
used to seeing it until they pop up on social media or whatever. They think that they're the only ones living with it.
Exactly.
Many of
Exactly.
us, many of us feel that way for many years. Like I'm the only one,
Mhm.
especially being a, being a black woman.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm. In a
being
foreign
a,
country.
I
Yeah.
was about to say
It's
being a
not
black woman in China,
mhm.
like you said, who may look a little thicker. So
Yeah, a little thicker.
I know you're probably a hot commodity. Like,
Thicker is better.
uh, yeah, you're definitely a hot commodity, right? Like
Sure.
I never tasted that.
And I have an Asianish kind of face. So
You
they're like,
do,
yeah. I don't consider it Asianish, but people do.
you do,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's different.
Has
And then I was 18 when I came here. So it's like, oh, I'm living on my own with diabetes. Like, oh, what is this?
right, right. You owned it.
Exactly.
Diabetes didn't own you. And I'm going to let you know this. I already got a title down for your episode.
What is it?
So you were speaking. This probably about 45 minutes ago, and you're like, your Caribbean accent came in heavy, and I was like, she's a China gal. So that's what I titled. It's going to be Chyna Gal.
Hey,
So,
yes,
like I
that.
mixed the two. Yeah.
But not the Jamaican gal, the Bahamian gal. The Bahamian gal is
Right.
J. Jamaican gal of the Y.
Right. Right. I have GAL. Is that how it
Yes,
is?
yes,
Okay.
that's the Bahamian gal.
Yep. I got you.
Oh,
Oh,
what they say in the Bahamas, we say grill more than gal, and we call you a pie. So it'd be like, oh, you're a pie.
it's a
I know
pie.
it's a pie is like an attractive woman. It's strange. It is.
Like okay, like a dessert.
Yeah, like you was a pie. Or like now the new term is that like if you're talking to your significant other, you have different like how in America you have like a situationship and complicated and then relationship. You have like a movie, a commercial, a advertisement.
Oh, that's how y'all do it. So
That's
what's the movie?
the movie is the main one. The movie is like the husband or the wife.
Huh, I
But the
would think that would
commercial
be
is like a short, just a little thing. I mean, just a little
so they don't have
situation.
they don't have a TV series.
No, they don't have a TV. I mean,
Because because a TV series, like a TV show, would seem like the relationships to me. Like
no, when use the movie, because use my movie, you know.
movies, yeah, I got
They
you.
say my movie. Yeah.
Mhm. A
But I'm
Disney
trying not
movie.
to bring out too much of my accent because I do have a very, very thick, fast accent,
Mhm.
which I'm trying not to bring out. I have a very thick accent.
Do you often get people asking you like, "Where are you from?" Or
I do,
do
especially last time I've been to America was I went to Texas. Was that November? No. I went to
you want to go
Texas.
visit Beyonce?
No, my uncle. Shout out to Uncle Cedric. He's my favorite uncle. He went to the barbecue them. My
Okay.
Uncle Cedric, because my aunt married an American. So she's been in America for like, if I'm 25, she's been there for 20 years. So I went to visit them. And it just so happened that like I went to Uber and I just came off a long flight. So I forgot to put on my American accent. She's like, oh, say it again. And I'm like, say what? Like, I'm just speaking normally. It's like, oh, I love your accent. Because it's not that much Bahamian. So you really don't hear it as often as other Caribbean countries. Because we're not as big as Jamaica. I think we're 500,000 people. Jamaica's like 2 million people. So you wouldn't really encounter a thick Bahamian accent that often. So every time I went someplace, I even went to Walmart and this guy was like, oh, where you from? Say it again. I'm like, yeah. So I'm trying not to use my accent too much, trying to put on my
Why? It's you. Be you. Be you. In China, do people like when they see you or are around you, they just think like, oh, she's American?
I speak Mandarin. So I think it depends if I'm speaking English or Mandarin. But in China, I do speak with my accent because I'm like, y'all gonna figure it out
Yeah.
either way.
And in
But my
6 years,
my
your
colleagues,
Mandarin is very fluent.
my Mandarin is enough to see fluency. It's a
It's enough
hard.
that that no one will get over on you.
Yes, it's enough to function. I could live there. I had to do classes like in Mandarin, but I wouldn't say I'm perfect. Like I knew a guy who's been here 15, 16 years. I would say his Mandarin is perfect. I would say I'm like medium, enough to hold a full conversation, to shop around, to live around, to read characters around, to like negotiate. But certain like situations, like if you're getting specific on a topic, I can't do the specific topic.
So it may be similar to, this is funny, to someone who speaks Mandarin here in the US, like who's from China.
Exactly. So it's like
Mhm.
it's enough.
Like how they'd be like broken English, broken Mandarin.
Exactly. So it's enough.
Mhm.
Yeah. But my Chinese friends do understand because I taught them my accent. So I taught them different words to know, like in Bahamianese, we call it Bahamianese. So different things. So they tend to pick up. Their favorite one is vibing. Because in the Bahamas, when you have a problem with someone or like when you have a disagreement, you be like, hey, you vibing with me. So me and my colleague who always gets in a fight, she say, why are you vibing? You always vibing with me.
Right.
And it's the funniest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't traveled much like more recently, but in the past I did travel often and I can't wait to get back to it. Um and I will make a trip out to China someday. Um
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure you got other places you want to travel in the world as well.
Yes. Last year was my big travel year. This year, I'm going to Shanghai soon. I'm going to Korea again because I like K-pop. So I go to concerts there. Um, I'm going to Hong Kong again this year, Japan, and then Las Vegas for my godmother's birthday. But last year I've been Europe. That was my first time to Europe. I've been North Carolina and Texas. Well, it's a few other places around here. Hong Kong like a million times. Korea like 5. So this year is another travel year, but not as big.
You're well traveled, well versed in different cultures. And I
Definitely.
think, especially living with a chronic health condition, we need to be, because we need to know that things aren't going to be the same everywhere we go. Um,
Exactly.
like certain places we go, people may look at us like, oh, they have diabetes, like, that's nasty. Other places, it may be more welcoming, like, yeah, my child has diabetes. And they can see you and know that they can live this long, productive, healthy life as Toni has.
Exactly. I think Asia, because when I was in South Korea, I was in Busan specifically, and I was shocked. I saw the whole Libre Center ads all over the place. So I'm like, oh, I never really thought as much for Korea to be like, oh, so open about diabetes. So that was good to see. I think Hong Kong too. There's Libre centers everywhere. You could buy it over the counter everywhere. Um, well, Europe not as much.
It's
But
very similar here in the US.
yeah.
We don't see the ads and stuff on TV, like in the media presence, like nowhere. Other than social media, like it's
Mm.
still a hidden disease here. People, I mean, to each his own. I'm never going to hide it. I live with
Me?
it. Um, what's some advice that you can give to someone that's either newly diagnosed or have been living with it for as long as you and I and just needs to like a refresher?
I would say get a diabetic buddy because when I was feeling burnout, I actually met a diabetic buddy who's all the way in the UK. I think he's like 35 with a whole family, bodybuilder. And he just gave me a lot of encouragement when I was feeling burned out. So it's always good to have a diabetic buddy, just someone who really understands what you're going through and someone to be like, okay, this is what it is. And someone who really, because even though you have family and friends, they're not going to understand what you're going through because they never had a low and they never had a high. My next piece of advice would be don't ever let diabetes live you. You got to live diabetes. And that's the one thing my mom always used to tell me. Because most people, I think, would fear being 18 on your own, halfway across the world with a chronic illness. But that's just something you have to live with. It doesn't have to live you.
I love the
Do
mindset that you have.
it. I
And
think
it
thanks to
reminds
my
me,
mom.
I was about to say, it reminds me of like when you said your mom had that conversation with you about diabetes. Like, it's not all of you. Like,
Mhm,
really?
exactly. She's really been the backbone in all of this, like really and truthfully. And she is so I'm talking about the sweetest woman alive. The sweetest woman alive. She is so sweet. So
Have you
and she's
flown,
very
have you flown her out to China?
she's been to China. She has not been to my new home in Beijing yet, but she's been when I was in Shanghai. So hopefully she's coming the end of this year.
Oh, you're in a
But
big
she
city.
look, yeah, I'm in the big city. I mean, I rather live Shanghai, but Beijing is all right. It's good. It's cool.
Shanghai is like LA. Beijing is like New York. That's what I'm.
Yeah, I would say lots of people, a lot of things. Everybody's busy. A little aggression here and there. I think it's
Um,
easier in Shanghai as a foreigner because a lot of them speak a bit more English. Whereas for Beijing, it's like they do speak good English, but it's like it's more like you said, more like New York. It's more, a little more pushy, a little more aggressive, a little more people. But the
and you're
original Beijing people are super, super nice. Because there's a lot of other provinces that came in now, but like the original Beijingers, they're super, super nice. Because most of my colleagues are Beijingers.
so there's a great community of like Black people in China.
There is. So I think it's a united but kind of separated at the same time because we all get together, like the African Americans, the Africans, the Caribbeans, but then we also have our own to do. So I mainly, because I'm Caribbean, I mainly hang with the Caribbeans. But when I was in school, it was a nice mix of Africans and Caribbeans. Not as much African Americans. I've met more when I came to Beijing. I've met way more African Americans in Beijing. But I would say it's a good community of us, mostly between Africans and Caribbeans.
Are there any pandemics that I need to know about that are
Listen, I wouldn't even know because when the HMP whatever was going on, like my dad, who normally doesn't worry, he called me and was like, "Hey, are you all right?" And I'm like, I'm home eating nuggets. Like, why wouldn't I be all right?
So there's no bird flu pandemic
No,
going on.
I have no clue. I see it on like when Western social media because I saw like everyone's like, "Oh, the hospitals are full in China and stuff," and I'm like, they're not though. I mean, I only can speak for Beijing. Nowhere I've been has been full. I've not, and no one has been sick. Everything has been going normal. So
I have
I
to
would.
ask because here in the US, it's like now we're stuck in a bubble. It's so weird because they cut off like all communication with like NIH, WHO, CDC. Like it's crazy.
I've been watching. It's just
Yeah,
it's a trying times right now.
yeah. It's a whole TikTok video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now that the ban is lifted.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it's crazy. I've truly have enjoyed this conversation with you, Tony. I don't know if you were nervous at all in the beginning because I didn't see it. Most people come on, they're like, "Will, I was nervous, but within a couple minutes, like it became this natural conversation." Told you we would catch up on conversations we never had before.
exactly.
Like,
But
look,
I'm not nervous. I think because I've been on TV a million times.
oh, you
I've been on
have
Chinese
been.
TV, by the way. Yeah,
You
because I
know,
did
say that again.
broadcasting. I've been on Chinese TV like 4 times already.
Oh, you're a star.
A wannabe, soon to be. So, and then I've been on TV back home too. So I studied communications as my bachelor's major. So I'm used to being in front of a camera. That's why I always get scolded from my friends why I don't be on social media more.
I got you.
I'm changing
Um,
it.
so my background, I was a media literacy educator for over a decade. Yeah. But I still don't show myself on social media much. Like I give
I
out
mean,
information and resources and everything, but I'm like, I'm good.
because I rather be behind the camera, but recently I've been in front of the camera. But I'm trying to do better, though. I'm trying to do better.
You're good. You're exactly where you need to be. Don't let
Exactly.
anyone push you, stop you. Just be yourself. You
Exactly. And
know,
that's all I do.
we know as people living with type 1 diabetes, we just gotta be present, be our best, you know, hope for the
And we
best also.
best, pray for the best, do what we could do.
Right. So as we do wind down this conversation, I have to ask you, my sister Tony, um, on the day you find out that a true functional cure is here, available for everyone, and we all must take this cure because we know if if it's available one place, it has to be available everywhere.
Exactly.
Um, and you find out that you no longer have to live with type 1 diabetes. It's gone. You no longer have it. The community stays the same because we're always going to be fighters for each other, whether it's this disease or the next disease. But on that day, you find out that you've been fully cured of type 1 diabetes after living with it through your adolescence, teen years, young adult years, and so forth. On that day, what do you do?
I'd cry the whole day. I'm a crier. Don't mind me acting all tough. I'm a crier.
You're an
I think
emotional thug.
exactly. Like exactly. So I would literally be crying the whole day. I'd probably be on the beach crying, enjoying alcohol because my blood sugars. I don't drink alcohol because it messes so much of my blood sugars. Enjoying a nice strong drink on the beach in tears.
You're getting drunk on the beach.
Exactly. Because ever since I had COVID and the diabetes, my blood sugar, every time I drink, even a small bit, it always goes super low. So I just don't drink at all.
Right. Drunk in love, like Beyonce said.
Exactly. With lots of tears. And then thanking the Lord because we finally found a cure.
Right.
Enjoying a nice strong drink and tears on the beach in the Bahamas.
And it'd be more than deserving. You deserve it. We deserve it.
Definitely do.
People of our past deserve it. The future deserves it.
Exactly.
And hopefully someday soon, we will be living in that reality.
Hopefully someday very, very soon.
Is there anything we did not cover that you wish or that you wanted to cover?
No, just want to say that I think I'm your first foreign guest on here, if I do say so. Oh, no, I'm not. I thought I was a special one. Okay. I just want to say thank you all for having me today. And if you do have the chance, please visit the Bahamas. It's a lovely country. We love food. We love people. We're super friendly. And we're super understanding of diabetes. So
thank you, my sister Toni, my Chyna Gal, for allowing me to keep you up through the middle of the night. You're looking at almost midnight.
yeah.
Right. So again, thank you for joining me on this journey. That is the Chronically Will podcast, where we have real conversations with community that need to be heard. Because Toni, you are someone that truly needs to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you so much too.